Good morning, traders. This is Mike Yo, and it's time for today's lunchtime recap inside of Madaz Money Chat. First of all, let's start off with the date and the time. It is August 23rd, 11:52 a.m. market time. I want to talk about the main play of the day, which was FFHL. Now, we did have some other stocks that were secondary moves, but things like RKDA and WKHS were very uh, lackluster because there was no liquidity at all on these moves. Unless you're micro scalping with 1,000 shares for 5 cents, maybe 10 cents, there's really nothing else to be had on them. I mean, there's absolutely no volume. So they were totally ignored. There was Neat. Neat was pretty cool, but still the volume is not great. Okay, it's Friday. We know that everyone is wrapping up their trades after the first half hour. Statistically speaking, we know that a large bulk of the volume, some even say 70%, is done within the first hour. We're absolutely dealing with still some slow markets, especially in small cap land, even though we have had the occasional runner here and there, we don't see that massive volume that we're hoping to see in the next few weeks after we get through this summer chop. So, FFHL, want to talk about some things on it. First of all, I saw it in pre-market. Let's take a look at the daily here. By any stretch of the imagination, it is a breakout. Okay, for me in my own trading, this is a breakout. So I do not want to be shorting this. Why else do I not want to be shorting this? Well, the float, okay? It's a breakout on the 1 year daily chart by any stretch of the imagination. The float is also something that I'm looking at, okay? It's also an earnings play. And to top everything off, it's a day one mover as well. Why would anyone want to be short on a stock that has such a high affinity of ripping your face off? Okay? So if you do, and you did nail the short on the breakdown. Congratulations, because it did break down. But you had all this room before price broke down, and a lot of people got hurt on that. Especially trying to short on the front side. Okay, ask any short seller who specializes, in their bias of short selling. They will tell you there's going to be easy shorts and there's going to be hard shorts. Maybe the hard shorts being front side will still work, but they will all agree if you can wait for the confirmed backside, you will save a lot of pain and headache and potentially losses as well, because we all know um, you run into a lot of paper cuts trying to work your way into the front side. And those paper cuts affect our bottom line greatly. Okay, so that's what I was looking at on FFHL. Unfortunately, I did not catch the breakout. I didn't catch the squeeze. I didn't think that it was a good reward to risk, for me. And that's because if you do look at the daily, there's a ton of resistance down here, 253, 325. And, after it gapped and it started ripping, you just have to make a judgment call. If I start in here, where's my risk? Okay, there's really not a whole lot of volume here. So you guys know I don't like to place a lot of emphasis on the support in pre-market if there's not a lot of volume there, which statistically speaking, there's not. So I would favor the tried and true, the tested areas down here. And if I'm buying up here, I'm in a lot of trouble if the stock doesn't go my way, if the stock doesn't squeeze. Okay, so just because it's a day one, low floater, earnings play, you know, it doesn't mean that it's going to run. It means that it has a great opportunity, it has a great affinity to run. Okay, there's a big chance that it can run, but we don't know if it will run. We know that it can. Hey, it's a low float. It's going to move on air. Okay, it's an earnings play. People are looking at it for the earnings. It's day one earnings, low float, and it's a breakout. Like we talked about. It cleared that pre-market high, and it reclaimed, and it just never looked back. Okay, so the people that are buying 455, 556. congrats if you nailed it, but it just doesn't make sense to me in my own approach because if I'm buying the pullback at 550, where's my risk? Like I said, I don't have any concrete support for quite some way. So what am I looking to do? Am I looking to bounce this for 20, 30, 40, 50 cents and then take $1 or more of risk? I mean, the people who were long here, they're in big trouble. Okay, so they're probably out by now, but yeah, they definitely felt the pain, and that's because you definitely don't want to be overexposing yourself to risk. And so anyway, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this short snippet of some analysis on FFHL. Um, I think that small caps are dead across the board, and there probably won't be much this afternoon unless FFHL can reclaim and rip to new highs. Then it might be in play again, but not so sure that that's going to happen. It is Friday, so every minute that passes us, there's less and less volume. People are closing up shop and starting their weekends. So, um, not complaining. It's been a great week. We're just waiting for volume to come back in. And I hope that you guys have had a great week. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me, reach out on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great weekend.